Really? Are we going to go? Not yet. So here we go. 5 lights. It's a long hold. Here we go, lights out. And it looks like it's a good start from one of the Racing Point Southerners. Through the middle of the 2. He backs out of it. Gets tagged by VR. Round the outside. VR holds onto the lead, but he's got Britney Boy hot on his heels. McEwen looks like he's going down the inside of Southerners into turns 2 and 3. Southerners holds on though. Then it's McEwen. It's a Red Bull. I can't work out which one because the whole timings have gone mixed up, but there's an Alpha down the inside. I think that's Guna. Checks in P5, but Ranga now looking around the outside of Guna into the hairpin. They're going side by side. Oh, the Alfa Romeo and the Red Bull. Ranga needs that toe off his teammate. I wonder if Check's going to help him out, but Guna slots in behind to get the toe and keep the Red Bull behind him, but Ranga's got a very good toe. Are we going to see an overtake already? It looks as though they're going side by side into the braking zone. Ranga's going to have the inside line. Out breaks Guna, and it looks like he's going to have the move done. But they're going side by side, are they? No. Ranga gets it done. Now Bunny's got a very good run on Guna.
There you go. Harry Riggs down 2 places off the start.
Out of there, of course, he has. Why am I not surprised? Riggsy. Oh no. Right, every week we've got Connor. He's got past Wiggy off the start. And Monkey already getting a time penalty. That is definitely not the way that he wants to be going this weekend. The top 2 already looking to try and check out. Brindy Boy hot on the heels of VR. Right up the gearbox, should I say. That's probably a more fitting analogy, as it were. We got Predators. He's gained quite a few positions as well off the start, as is Kovac in the Haas. Kolka's down a lot. Kolka's down 3 or 4 positions. And Tooman as well has just gained 1 himself. Oh, so Connor gets very loose on the exit of the final corner. And Louis
Kovac's round at the final
down
corner.
The straight. And we got Kovac round. And Monkey's out. As I think Monkey's retired in the pits. I think he's just given up then. Unfortunately, it's been a long season. And obviously that penalty perhaps was the final nail in the coffin for Monkey as far as this season's gone. So he's already left the session. 28 laps, and he's left on the first.
Monkey had no setup.
A little bit disappointing from him. No setup. Okay, maybe that does explain it a bit.
Yeah, he'll lose a lot of time.
So yeah,
6-6 win.
I apologise for that. Perhaps I was being a bit too harsh, but we might see Duncan going for the move on Predators. Not quite. It looks like he kind of topped out, and Predators had a bit of extra straight on.
Conk's gone in deep. Almost hit the back of Duncan.
The apex. Predators has already dropped back from the top guys. If we look at the gap to the interval's kind of messed up because it says that Riggsy's 4 seconds behind Connor, even though he's literally right behind him. There we go. Restart the lobby. Still some glitches. Why am I not surprised?
I think Riggs is looking at a move here, Harry. Potentially down the inside.
Oh, Kolka's gone. Kolka's right round. Whoa, how's she got all the way over there? She's on the grass. There in sector 3. I don't quite know how she's managed that. She must have had a collision with someone, I think, to have spun round that aggressively. So Kolka, another setback for her, and what has been a very difficult season. She's definitely not had the best of luck, has Kolka. If we look now at the battle towards the front, we've got McEwen. He's right on the back of someone who's putting the pressure on the Racing Point driver, who has just dropped out of the DRS of the top 2, and that could be crucial for his race. Brindy Boy as well, clinging on to VR. He's about 8 tenths. It's gone down to around 7.5 and back up to 8.5 now off the back of the McLaren. It's changing all the time.
Silly Bunny's all over the back of Guna as
stick
well.
With him. We'll go to Bunny. Guna's just about sticking in Ranga's DRS as well. So the gap's looking like that already starting to form. Bunny has a little look. He's letting Guna know he's there, but he's not going to be able to go for a move just yet. McEwen, of course, gets past Southerners as soon as I move off of them. So we'll go back to Southerners, and now Bunny will probably get past Guna. Southerners, can he get back past the Ferrari? It doesn't look like he's going to be close enough just yet.
Bunny's making a move.
Oh, but now Check's going for it as well. They're going side by side through the chicane. Check, he's got the outside line. Southerners trying to close the door, but it looks as though he just about squeezes Check out. And now Ranga's going to have a decent run on his teammate. Bunny, of course, does get past Guna, but at least there was another battle going on, so we didn't quite miss it for nothing. But Check now pushing Southerners through this final sector. pushing that racing point. Czech looking pretty racy in these opening stages. Brindley Boys managed to close the gap to VR throughout this lap, but there's already, as I say, a bit of a divide between the top two and the rest of the field as Connor now picks up a penalty as well. Yeah, you should be able to, and in fact it's probably a good time to go over to you, Rando. Have you seen anything of note?
Okay, so at the moment I'm just thinking there is a question as to whether Southerners may have damage off that incident with VR. I'm not sure if he does, but he did take a big knock. Also, this is a beautiful opportunity here for Red Bull, sitting comfortably 5 and 6. We know that they've some sort of team orders earlier on, and they are going to be more than willing to help one another. We know how powerful DRS is around here. They can easily help each other gain an advantage and split away from the rest of this pack, especially. So Silly, Bunny and Goon are going to have to work extra hard to say, and as we say that now, it looks like Czech's made the move on Southerners, I believe.
Yep, he has.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about how powerful the DRS is, Czech made that, well, it made it look easy, really. Ease past Southerners as he didn't have the DRS, but the Red Bull did. Tooman was round there just at the start of the second sector in the background, so he's obviously having some trouble.
Side by side for the lead, Harry.
Side by side for the lead. So VR and Brindy, they're battling, and this is allowing McEwen's close in. McEwen's gained 5 tenths in less than a lap to the top two. So this 2-horse race for the lead is going to become at least a 3. And in fact, Czech's hot on the heels of McEwen as well, so he's staying with him. He's going to obviously try and use the Ferrari's pace to try and get up to this battle. And if that happens, it's really going to be a top 7, all within DRS of one another. And nearly a top 8 in top 8. In fact, as Gunnar's now in Bunny's DRS as well. So this race is going to get a whole lot more interesting if McEwen can get the DRS of Brindy Boy. Just to pick up on the joint constructors. Currently, Renault not really making any inroads into that Haas advantage. Bunny is in 7th, but that's only going to be the 6 points. Of course, Kolka with her spin earlier on, she's been set back.
Red Bull
she
getting
really
it
needs
nicely,
a safety car to get back into the race. And of course, Red Bull, they're not out of it either, as you say, and they're getting a good amount of points at the moment. Brindy Boy's pretty low on the DRS. VR's got about 10% more. And he's got a decent run down this back straight. Brindy Boy's not going to be close enough to him on this occasion, but we have got, check this out, and McEwen going side by side into the braking zone. McEwen brakes late, but Czech brakes later. He's going to get the switch as he Czech takes the position. And here we go, but McEwen's coming back at them. He's coming back at him. He's going to have the outside into the chicane, and of course they're now going side by side for the lead. Brindy Boy takes the lead off VR, made the move look fairly comfortable, and McEwen back past Czech. These two battling it out. They don't need that. They need to catch the top 2 if they can. But they've lost, well, pretty much that advantage that McEwen had gained. They've just lost it all there in a click of the fingers. As Tooman as well has now retired. So rather disappointing end to the season for him. But of course, switching to no assists. So wow, Czech and McEwen getting very close to the glitchy barrier there. I don't know if it glitches out on this game as it did on the last.
Got Southerners in the pits, Harry.
Didn't find out.
I'm going to keep an eye on his stop actually, because although couldn't see any damage, I get the impression he might have done because he was dropping down the order quite a bit. I'm going to see if there's a wing change coming at racing point.
There was no visible damage, but I guess he might have had a bit of an underlying wing damage.
It's a set
and
of
of
fresh
course, the other thing
medium
as
tyres
well,
and no wing change.
It may just be a tactical. It may just be a tactical pit stop to try and get an undercut. As we did mention earlier, the undercut is very powerful around here. We've got yellow flags as well. That's
Someone's
Williams.
crashed.
That's Liam off. Is he out?
No, he's just
going.
He must have gotten some damage. Surely
Doesn't appear to have damage.
Look to not really be changing on this occasion. Czech's having a little look at McEwen, but he's not close enough to go for a move. Bunny is definitely having a look at Ranga, though. They're going to go side by side through the chicane. Bunny's very low on his ERS, though, and Ranga gets a very nice exit, but now Bunny's got the DRS. He's in the slipstream, but he's ran out of his ERS, so he's going to be losing speed here as opposed to gaining it. He has a go down the inside. They're going wheel to wheel, side by side through the chicane. Bunny has to back out, and sensibly so, as Ranga defends the position very well, and then Bunny gets very loose on the curb there. But yeah, Ranga, good defending from him. Bunny's weaving, so I don't know if he's a bit annoyed with Ranga for his defending there, but Ranga didn't do anything wrong on this occasion, should we say. Ranga didn't do anything wrong anyway. Yeah, that might give the wrong impression. Ranga didn't do anything wrong. He defended the position very well, as he does so often.
Ranga's
McEwen
pitting
pits now as well. Top 2 stay out. Ranga's pitting, McEwen's pitting. Czech stayed out, so that was obviously a good time for Ranga to pit. We've got Guna still right on the back of Buddy. He will still have his DRS. It's kind of spreading out now as everyone's pitting at different times. I don't think we're going to get a really accurate representation of where everyone is, probably until maybe 10 laps time or so.
It just says half a front wing. He's coming into the pits. Looks like it's going to be another retirement as well, considering how slowly he was going into the pits. That wouldn't have helped Southerners either. Although, having said that, he has overcut. He's got a massive undercut. Sorry, not an overcut. A massive undercut on Ranga. He's gained about 2.5 seconds just from that one lap.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, as
Sem doesn't retire, so I doubt he will.
As Sem said in the stream chat earlier, the undercut is huge around here, and Southerners is showing that so far. He's looking to get past Kolka.
Yeah. Just about catching the end of this overtake.
Kolka
pretty easy. I doubt Kolka put up
no, she didn't.
too much of a fight, as you say. Not really her fight anyway. As I mentioned, she really does need a safety car to get back into the race after unfortunately spinning earlier on. Guna's still clinging right onto the back of Bunny, so he's obviously got some good pace as well. Kolka with the DRS doesn't go for a move on Southerns when she probably could have thrown one down the inside had they been on the same strategy and in the same race, but unfortunately that isn't really the case. I'm not deliberately rhyming, but hey ho.
Top
so
two
yeah,
still
as you kind of
staying
look
out.
at
The top 2 might
as you
go
look
for
at the
a one
interval,
stop
they're all spreading out. I think you might be right, Seb, because as you say, the top 2 still staying out. 8 laps really isn't what you want to be doing on the softs. If you are doing a 2-stop, it's kind of, you don't need to. You'll lose a lot of time on the undercut, as we keep banging on about. Southerners, well, proves that by setting the fastest lap, 37.7 for him on the mediums. I think you might be right. It does look as though these top 2
Can we get the tyres,
might
please,
be going for the 1-stop. We can get the tyres. Here we go. Tyres. So everyone that pitted went onto the mediums. We've got 3 or 4 still out on the mediums. Liam's still out. He's the only one yet to pit outside of the top. Outside the top 10. Yeah, that's right. Kolka is currently P10. She's yet to pit, as are the top 8. 4 of which still on softs. So Bunny, 5 of which, sorry, I'm seeing things. 5 of which, or not seeing things. So I wonder if all these top 5 perhaps are looking at a 1-stop. I don't know. We'll obviously find out relatively soon, I imagine.
Just caught the end of a very interesting incident. McEwen was squeezed right up on the left-hand side, going down into at the end of the straight. Kolka then broke very late, went in deep and cut across the chicane at the end of the back straight, as it were, and McEwen's got ahead, obviously on different strategies. Those two, McEwen already pitting, but
yeah, we've got the top 2
tops in the pits. It'll be interesting to see how much time
Top
they've
3
lost from this big
Wiggy's
overcut.
in as well. So Guna's the only one staying out then that started in the top 10.
Could we
on
see
those
softs to hards from Guna potentially?
Yeah, is Guna going to go for the 1-stop? I mean, if I were him, I wouldn't touch the hards, but it looks like Lil Wiggy's going to touch the hards as he puts
This 1-stop's going to be
4
way
fresh,
slower.
hard compound tyres on, and I think you're right. This 1-stop, especially going onto the hards, is probably not the way to
Softs
go.
and mediums as well will be way slower. Oh, we've got
I don't think they can do
Duncan, I
one
think,
stop.
just crashed.
Yellow flags. Duncan's crashed. He's not out the session. And you say that, but Brindley Boy is still in a net race lead, despite pitting that much late in Southerners. So we will now have the tyre advantage on the Racing Point driver, rather considerably. VR, he's onto soft, so he's definitely 2-stopping. But he's lost a lot of time in the pits compared to Brindley Boy. They were pretty much, what's the phrase?
Neck and neck.
Top and tail going into the pits. And well, they've ended up a few seconds apart as Brando just seems to be getting out the way as well, he's sort of in Kolka's position, not really in their race, although perhaps Kolka might try and capitalise on that. She's not going to be close enough on this occasion, but VR, McEwen and Ranga all getting past Brando in rather quick succession.
Yeah, Czech stuck behind them all now as Cole goes in deep. Czech capitalises to move up to 9th.
See if Gunnar pits this time.
I'm not sure whether you noticed,
Nope,
but
Gunnar's staying out again.
But VR is on the soft tyre. So obviously he's trying something different from everyone else. So he's really going to have to try and capitalise and pull away from McEwen sooner rather than later. If they're trying the one-stop soft to medium, they're going to have to be pitting.
Yellow flags, Brando's retired, and that is a safety car.
Oof.
And that plays right into the hands of SLR Gunnar, who I think was looking to try and make a one-stop work. And that safety car's perfectly timed for him. As probably would have pitted around about now. He's going to look to probably take the mediums to the end of the race. It also plays into the hands of Brindy Boy, who had only just pitted. So if I were him, I'd probably at least try and go for the mediums to the end. It doesn't help VR though. Or, well, it might help VR. As you say, he's on fresh softs. He had a pretty sizable gap to Brindy Boy that he would have had to have made up, which obviously now he doesn't, because the whole field will get compressed together, as it were. So if VR can get past a few of those guys quickly, then he might not have to worry too much about pitting again. But if I were Brindy Boy, I might try and stretch those mediums to the end. I'm going to come out maybe around about Ranga. I'm just trying to look at the gap. He'll still... Yeah, it's about, what was that? 10 to Brindy, or 10 to Southerners, sorry. About 15, 16 to Ranga. So he will come out around about the 2 Red Bull drivers. But obviously, if he's not got to pit again, whereas probably some of those guys do... it definitely plays into his hands. It's whether Gunnar goes onto the mediums or whether he goes onto the hards. It's well, if he goes onto the hards, it probably isn't going to be great for him.
You'd like to think, seeing as he's done 10 laps on the softs, he could do 18, well, probably there's about 16 flying laps on the mediums. The problem around here isn't the tyre wear. You could do with a one-stop easily softs to mediums on the tyre wear, but the drop-off in pace from about 30% on the tyres is just so huge. You lose so much time as they're all filing off into the pit lane.
It's the mediums though. It's
the
mediums for Gunnar.
The majority are going to go onto mediums here.
Sorry.
McEwen
McEwen stays out, whereas most are pitting. Both the Red Bulls as well though are staying out. I think Gunnar's going to come out slightly behind the Red Bull pair.
Well, I guess they can just try and take...
with Bunny.
They can just try and take their mediums to the end, can't they, Harry?
Well, yeah, you might be right. I
I
think Brindy Boy might have missed a trick with that one. Bunny's on 1 lap old mediums.
A lot
so
going
he's
on to
probably
hard.
good to the end. I'd say McEwen and Ranga might struggle, as they're going to have to do about 20 laps on the mediums. Check as well. I think Bunny and Gunnar are in good positions. Riggsy stays out as well, as does Connor. Hards, I don't know. It's a tricky one. I personally wouldn't touch them. I had a bit of experience with them on Wednesday, and while they last a long time, their pace was just non-existent, really.
They are awful.
The medium softs from here could be good, because obviously the softs will be so much quicker than old mediums and old hards towards the end. But yeah, I think this safety car's really spiced up this race now with a lot of different strategies. Gunnar, I should think.
I was going to say I hate to jinx him, but I really fancy Gunnar at this point. Fresh mediums, P5 on track. He's looking on for a strong result. Obviously a winner in Monza this season already, so he's got the experience of the top step of the podium. As we've had, 14, 15 different winners this season. So, well, I mean, we're looking odds on for a repeat winner, considering the top 5 have all won already this season, and Riggsy as well. So the top 6 have all won already this season. We've got most drivers then on, well, everyone's on mediums or hards. Duncan's 13th, he's on fresh mediums. Kolka, Reds, Kovac all on fresh mediums as well. Liam's 14th, he's on 2-lap old mediums. It helps Duncan out, who had just had that spin as well. It also helps Kolka out. She does have a penalty, but obviously, well, she's 13 seconds behind the pack now, so oh, goodness knows how far she was behind when that safety car came out. So everyone closes up now. All the gaps that were there are reset. I do feel as though Brindy Boy did miss a trick by pitting. When you look at, well, obviously in hindsight we'll be able to tell, But when those around him that were on older tyres, such as McEwen, Ranga, Czech, all pitted, all stayed out, sorry, and he pitted, perhaps he might come to kick himself at the end of the race. We'll see, because obviously he's lost the position as well to Sotia Clock, who started on the mediums. The safety car came out at a pretty decent time for him. He's gone onto the hards, and he's going to look to take them to the end of the race. Lil Wiggy as well, who went onto hards, is of course also going to look to try and take them to the end of the race. Hards are given, they'll go the distance. It's whether these mediums will last and whether the drivers can get the performance they need out of them when it comes down to it. You know, lap 25, 26, 27, 28, they'll be difficult on the mediums as the grip starts to go and the tyres start to go off. It will play into the favour of those on the hards, but for the first sort of 10 to 13 laps, I want to say, the mediums will definitely be in better shape.
Alright, I've got some info. I'm not sure if it's already been mentioned, so apologies if it has, but Duncan's controller died, which is why he spun. Sam reckons everyone on the hards is screwed, and that Brindis, Southerners and VR have shot themselves in the foot. He's also now backing Silly Bunny for the win, which is an interesting one for the joint constructors. And yeah, he's a Haas driver backing their main rivals for a win, which is
oh, he's trying to jinx him. Sam, I'm warning you, stay away from the Renault.
He says he thinks he can make them. He can take them to the end. But yeah,
well,
I believe
I'd
it'll be
say
safety car
if it's not
lap,
Guna,
right?
Bunny is in a good position as he's on the youngest tyres out of the top 4. Safety car should hopefully be in this lap, as you say. It's been out long enough. It looks like it is. McEwen's obviously got a big gap now to the safety car. So then here we go. Lap 12 of 28, and we're going to get back underway. 16 laps to go when we cross the line for the start of lap 13. We've got a race on our hands, ladies and gents. Here we go. When's McEwen gonna pull the trigger and plant that throttle down? It looks like it's now. Good restart from him. Guna's slightly caught off guard by the looks of things. As Connor as well, sorry, has been caught off guard because Riggsy is, well, he's got a pretty decent gap to the Williams. We've got Bunny right on the back of Czech already. Of course, Bunny and Czech, good mates off track. So I can't imagine that these two will be making it too difficult for one another should one be faster, or considerably faster that is. Although, having said that, sometimes it's maybe not the best thing to be fighting one of your mates because, well, you might give it a bit of extra juice. So then McEwen going very defensive already, trying to break that toe, but Ranga 3.5 tenths back. He could be on for a move. He's using a bit of his battery to try and have a look, but he's not going to be close enough on this occasion. Can he get a good run down onto the back straight, or the second back straight, as it were? Again, using that battery on exit to get that good slingshot out of the corner. We've got a couple of position changes towards the back. Kovac getting past Polka. McEwen pulls right to the inside to cover off any potential move. And, well, Ranga not close enough on this occasion. Brindy Boy as well getting past Clock further down. But it was as you were for the top 5, 6, 7, 8. Brindy Boy and Clock, the only two in the top 10, changing position as of now. But there we go. Little Wiggy has obviously got loose on the exit there. As Brindy Boy, Clock and Southerners and VR and Duncan all get past him in rather quick succession there. Little Wiggy losing 5 positions in the space of about 3 seconds. But there we go. Unfortunate for him. Maybe a bit of a lack of grip on the hard compound tyres. They might be a bit cold when they get on. Their Ranga's disconnected. He's still in the race for me, but obviously I'm not getting anything to tell me that he isn't. If you want to try and get him an invite, but I don't think he has he? I don't know. It's hard to tell. He's not. Czech's not really gaining time on him, but McEwen is gaining a lot. Now I think you might be right. Actually, we can't tell ourselves.
Oh,
but
Wiggy's gone, Harry. At turn 4. Getting on that
also,
curb,
things go from bad to worse for the Ferrari driver as he lost a whole heap of positions, and
that's
now
his race over, I think. Really,
Ferrari in the barrier. It's a real shame for Lil Wiggy as Rando's now gone as well. So things go from bad to worse for the stream as well. As Czech has gotten past Ranga, who I think has disconnected because he seems to be pretty slow, unless Ranga's just decided to deploy some massive sandbags, although I don't know why he'd be doing that.
No, I think Ranga's in the race from what I can see. It doesn't look like it's an AI driving.
But he's lost a lot of time. Maybe he has pulled the sandbags. No, I doubt it. Ranger's probably just trying to maybe conserve the
Team
tyres,
player.
conserve the fuel, conserve the ERS team
No, it's
player as well.
definitely him driving.
Czech obviously has got some good pace. And as you say, it definitely is him driving. But
Here
it
comes
might not
Bunny,
be
Harry.
good enough for him as Bunny's having a little look there.
That could have been a
Bit of an
aeroplane
unorthodox
crash.
place to go for the move. But Ranger's holding him up now a little bit. So I wonder if Ranger is, like you say, playing the team game. We nearly saw a remake of the Karthikeyan Rosberg incident from 2010, I want to say that was.
Yeah, sounds about
Rosberg
right.
went right over the top of the HRT. Ranger getting a little loose on the exit, but he's getting good exits as Ranger, and it's making it difficult for those to get past him. Of course, his teammate didn't find it difficult to get past him, but teammate, bit of a clue in the name. Duncan getting past Summoners as well, so he's using those mediums to his advantage as he's got hard runners, 2 in front, 2 behind. So Duncan obviously using those mediums to try and get past those on the hard compound tyres as Ranger brakes really heavily there. Bunny nearly getting into the back of him. Ranger's now lost DRS to his teammate. Perhaps that wasn't in the plan because Bunny might find it a bit easier to try and get past the Red Bull now, but Ranger getting another good exit. 3.5 tenths is the gap from Bunny to Ranger. Little Wiggy's retired, which is a real shame, but unfortunately his race was all but over. Bunny's getting a very good run. It's going to be easy as you like. There you go. Gets the move done, pulls across Ranger, and Ranger hits him. Not once, but twice. Bunny had the move. He was ahead of Ranger, so he was entitled to go back onto the racing line, which he did. Doesn't look like Ranger got damaged, but he did give him a couple of little taps there on the rear.
Apparently Ranger might have hit a wall according to Beast, but he doesn't look like
On the
he's
top
got
two,
damage.
sorry, James McEwen has lost out to Czech. So Czech's on another charge. He was on a charge at the start, and now he's on another one here. He has got a time penalty, though, but he is now into P1. Gunners sticking with the back of these guys, and as the race goes on, their tyres will drop off. Gunners will come slightly more into play. Obviously, they're going to be in play now, but I guess when it gets to the latter stage of the race, and he's on those 3-4 lap fresher tyres, then some of these guys, that will help him a whole
I'll tell you what,
post,
Harry.
and the McEwen as well, just picking up a time penalty.
I wouldn't count out Brindy Boy yet either. He's in P8, but he's on the hards. And if those guys,
Hasn't got a penalty.
no, if those guys on the mediums are going to try and stick it to the end, then Brindy Boy's going to have a huge pace advantage. Come about lap 20,
look,
lap
yellow
21 on those hards.
Flags. I think Kovac's lost it at the final corner again. He seems to be having a bit of a love-hate relationship perhaps with that final corner. He's just gone round again. I don't know if he's hit the wall and gotten damage. But we are going to focus still on this battle for the lead as now Bunny's joined it in. He just set the fastest lap of the race. Obviously helped with that DRS and slipstream when he got past Ranger. But he's down right to the teens, right to the almost single digits on the ERS.
Gunas
Ranger
going for
is dropping back. So unfortunately his race pace isn't quite the same as his quali pace. Guna is going to get the move done. And Ranger very nearly hitting the back of Guna as well. But not quite this time. So Guna on the fresher mediums is now up to P4, but he is out of the DRS range of Bunny
He's
ahead.
coming back at the Alfa Romeo.
He is. Ranger ran the outside into the chicane. Guna will leave room as he always does, and that means that Ranger gets the move done. It's lost them time though, both of them, and I'm not sure if that was necessarily the, well, not the smartest thing. Obviously Guna had to leave room, but I think Guna could have done with perhaps trying to stay ahead of Ranger there.
Brindy Boy up into 7.
Brindy Boy, as you
I
say,
said don't count him out.
7. Definitely don't, because he's got some really good pace. He showed it in America as well when he went onto the hards, when those around him were on mediums, that he still had the pace. In fact, he won on track there, but a penalty cost him, as Connor has just picked up one himself. We've got VR, he's down in 12th. He's on the hards as well.
Not made
He's on the
any
back of
progress,
Silvers,
though,
and
really.
he hasn't got a penalty either. And this is weird, because those that showed strong pace in quali, such as VR, Southerners, Ranger, not quite having the same sort of pace in the race. Brindy Boy obviously is, as is Czech. He was 4th on the grid. He's now P1. And nearly out of the DRS of McEwen. Kolka's round. She's in the wall. She's probably got damage as well.
Well, I've got
Unfortunately, rather sums up Kolka's look this season, doesn't it? But Guna then looking to come back at Ranger. Kovac's retired in the pits. Over to you, James.
yeah, I've got another update from Kovac. He said he had to avoid VR. He went wide into the final turn, and that resulted in his second spin at turn 21. Unfortunately, as Brindy Boy's, oh, he's almost, oh, and now he's been hit by Connor.
Oh
Brindy
no,
Boy's round.
Brindy Boy! I was going to say, Guna broke very early into the corner there, and Riggsy looked quite close to the back of him. I was worried that something was going to happen. And then Brindy kind of had a little look. I think tried to back out of it, just tagged the back of Rigsy. That unsettled his car, gave him a bit of a poor exit. And I think Connor must have just tapped him there on the exit. So Brindy Boy losing a couple of positions, not only to Connor, but also to his teammate. Summoners, did you just say past clock, was it?
I did indeed, yeah. Bunny looking good for a podium, if not the win now as well.
Nowhere.
That's Checks.
Oh, Checks pitting. Apologies to Bunny, because I hadn't noticed. He's gone past McEwen as well. McEwen's kind of dropped off a bit. Bunny hasn't got a lot of ERS, but he's clearly got some good pace. I wonder if he's going to try it and get to the end here. Checks not risking it. He's going to pit. He's going to come out.
Oh, it's a slow stop,
maybe even behind Predators.
It's a slow stop at Red Bull.
What's wrong?
I think he must have been serving some
yellow
sort
flags.
of penalty.
Connor's round again. Connor's round now. So I'm sure Brindleborn might have a bit of a sly grin as Connor's round. He's into the wall again on the exit of turn 1. We've had quite a few drivers struggling on the exit of turn 1. Silly Bunny is really low on ERS. McEwen's got, well, 3 times as much. Although, albeit he's only on 30%.
Rango and Guna round 2.
He's 1.7 behind. Rango and Guna round 3 or 4, I think this is. But Guna, yet again, getting past the Red Bull. But is the Red Bull going to come back at him?
Apparently
He's
serving a 5-second penalty, Harry, although I don't remember him getting that.
I saw he had a penalty, but I assumed... Oh, I'm having a bit of a Chris Kamara moment here. I saw he had a penalty, but I thought it was just going to be a 3-second. Obviously, we were very wrong, as usual. So, yeah, that's unfortunate for Czech. I guess he had to pit again. He felt he couldn't get the tyres to the end. But it doesn't
a lot on the undercut there.
He's dropped back. Well, he'll gain a lot on the undercut should everyone else pit.
Yeah.
I don't think Guna will pit again. Guna's only on 6 lap old tyres. I mean, there'll be 16 at the end, those mediums. They should be fine to the end. 2.5 seconds almost is Bunny's lead. McEwen pits as well. So Bunny now 2.5, nearly 3 seconds it will be out in the lead. But Bunny pits as well. Guna's released into the lead of the race, and I think he's going to go to the end. Guna, it is definitely advantage to Alfa Romeo.
Absolutely.
Although Ranga and Briggsy both staying out, they're on 11 lap old mediums. There'll be a stretch to the end, considering they have the oldest tyres out of those that were on the mediums, and everyone else with the younger tyres has opted to pit. Guna as well out of Ranga's DRS already, so it perhaps shows the drop-off that is on the mediums. We've got another retirement now. That's the 6th of the race. That is SLR Connor in the Williams after his spin at turn 1 on the lap before.
Race of attrition into here. And
Here
just
you
a
go.
note, yeah, Baggy saying that he collided with Brando before the safety car, which gave him his 5-second penalty. That could also explain why Ranga let Czech through, maybe because he knew that he had to pit again.
Yeah, you might.
Contact between Ranga and Riggsy over second place.
Got Ranga and Riggsy
I think Riggs turned in a bit too early. Wasn't expecting Ranga to try and hold it, but I think Ranga was entitled to try and defend it. And yeah, Ranga's just about held on. All of this, playing into Guna's hands, who can now just scamper further up the road. Duncan also looking
we've got
good.
Liam past Brindy Boy.
8 lap old mediums for Duncan, only a lap older than Guna's. Southerners is also the highest placed hards runner now. But interestingly,
got VR right in the back of him,
VR's
hasn't he?
had a bit of a quiet one since he decided to pit behind the safety car, but he's slowly working his way back into this race.
Ranga and Riggsy are in. Ranga and Riggsy are in. Duncan stays out, and as you say, Duncan, he's only on 1 lap older tyres than Guna, and if Guna's going to the end, I'd imagine Duncan will as well. So could Duncan be on for another podium? So it would be 2 out of 3 in terms of SLR races and podiums, should he stay where he is.
And you've jinxed him, so Duncan unlikely now to finish on the podium.
There we go, classic.
Well, he is, because I
well,
caught
I've
him
also
resetting to
jinxed Guna
track
as well.
earlier on, so that's a slam dunk penalty for him.
Okay. Cheers for saying that now. Well, I didn't jinx him then. Look, that had already happened, so that can't be a jinx. VR, though, is right on the back of Southerners. He's going to have the DRS, but he's also very low on the ERS. It's a very recurring theme that we're seeing here. Everyone really low on the battery. Southerners, 50%. There we go. He was the same last week. He had a lot of his battery at his disposal, and he does again this week. VR having a little look down the inside there. Southerners covering him off. And it might be time to start using that battery to his advantage as well. He got a very good exit there out of the chicane.
McEwen's up
down the
into
second straight.
McEwen's up to 8th, Harry. He's only 16. I say only 16 seconds off the lead. If he gains 2 seconds a lap from now to the end, which, if you ask me, that's more than doable with the advantage of the tyres. So I still wouldn't count McEwen out for this win. There's a handful of drivers that could still win this race.
McEwen is the fact that he's obviously got 7 cars between, or 6 cars.
And a penalty, of course.
6 cars and a penalty between himself and Gunnar. So although he will be gaining time hand over fist, he's also got to get past 6 cars without losing a big chunk of time. We've got Duncan in the pits, so he obviously isn't confident that his tyres will go to the end. He's got 4 hard runners as well to get past, which won't be easy, especially if he catches them in the final sector at the wrong time. Really, McEwen, ideally for him, needs to catch everyone down that back straight and hope that they don't have DRS on the car ahead. Although, however, there is a battle going on for second as it stands. The Southerners VR and Clock all within a second and a half one, and the Rando is still doing the hokey cokey in the party, leaving and joining the whole way through. He's, I think, having some sort of issues with his Wi-Fi. We've got Rigsy as well right on the back of Ranga, so those two continuing their little ding-dong battle. McEwen has got 2 cars in between himself and 3 seconds in between himself and Silly Bunny. Bunny is, however, on the back of Predators, and he's got DRS. It's going to be a bit of a late lunge if he goes for it. He doesn't on this occasion, but he's most likely going to have the run down onto the second straight. We'll have the DRS as well. Predators isn't going to, I don't think, be able to
contact
defend
with
this
McEwen and Brindley Boy. Sorry to cut you off there, Harry, but McEwen went in quite late into the break, and then Brindley Boy looked like he was going to go at the inside of Liam, then thought better of it, and that almost ended in tears. I think they've both escaped damage.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, McEwen's getting held
anyway
up.
For McEwen.
Brindley Boy getting deep.
Brindley Boy's gone deep. Brindley Boy's off the track, and now Czech's going to look to capitalise as well. Round the outside. Nice move from Czech there. Capitalising on the mistake from the Mercedes, and Brindley Boy, I think, is struggling a little bit on those hards. Czech is on 2-lap old mediums. McEwen on 1-lap old softs. The advantage that Czech has, if he can stick with McEwen, is that his tyres will start to go. McEwen, though, past Liam. That's going to be good for him because, well, it puts a car in between himself and his closest rival on track. Czech will have the better tyres at the end of the race, though. That will definitely play to his advantage. But he needs to keep McEwen in sight.
Yeah, McEwen's still on target.
Should he be able to really capitalise on that?
He's still on target with his 2 seconds a lap advantage.
Oh, Czech.
Southerners and VR
Diving
battling
it down
out.
the inside.
You too, Harry.
There was your dive down the inside into the hairpin, James. Czech past Liam, rather aggressive. Getting the elbows out. Clock very deep there. Whoa, I thought he was going to hit the back of the racing point. He did well to avoid it. Lock up again from Clock. Southerners and VR now going side by side down the back straight. We're going to switch the Clock. He's going to get a pretty decent view of this. They're going side by side. Southerners gets the position though, stays ahead for now. He's having to defend staunchly though from the McLaren, and well, if these three keep up their battle, I think McEwen will find it hard to get through them. They might prove a bit of a roadblock. There's 6 laps to go when Gunnar crosses the line again. He's got 10 seconds between himself and second place Southerners. So McEwen, he's going to have a big job in his hands should he get past these 3, and he needs to get past these 3 in the next 2 laps at a maximum. He can't afford to lose any more time than that. I'd say 2 laps is really the most he can afford to be stuck behind these guys for, and I think it's going to be he's going to find it pretty difficult to get past these guys, as Liam has lost out to Bunny and Duncan as well. Has he? We got Brindley Boy, sorry, in the pits. So well, he's obviously decided that the hards really weren't the tyre to go on. McEwen is just about in the DRS of Clock. But Clock's obviously got the DRS of the 2 ahead, so he's going to find it very difficult to get past. We've got yellow flags. That's Rigsy. Rigsy's gone. Round time 3. VR and Southerners side by side.
This battling
He's got the bloody throttle glitch, so we won't go to him. Clock's as well got a lot of his ERS at his disposal. VR's using basically all of his. He's really scraping the barrel with the ERS to try and get past Southerners. Even with the DRS, he's not got enough to get past the racing point on this occasion. He's going to look for the switchback though. Can he get it done? Clock's got a really good view of this. I'm sure he might be hoping that these two collide somewhat. McEwen, though, got a good run. 2.5 tenths back, but not good enough. Clock with the DRS is going to keep him at bay for now. VR has a little look down the inside of Sutherland's. Clock breaks late. Nearly hitting the back of the McLaren. That's the second time now in the last 2 laps the Clock's nearly hit the back of the McLaren, but he just avoids him on this occasion. Clock again locking up that front left. But he does... Oh, there we go. McEwen. I was about to look behind and look for McEwen, but he was side by side with Clock. So I was looking in the wrong place. McEwen, what a move down the inside at the triple right-hander. And, well, look at the time. He's already gained from Clock. 6 tenths in about 1 corner. And he's now right on the back of VR.
These soft runs are absolutely flying at the moment. They are gassing it as quickly as they can. It's going to be interesting to see whether Czech, Bonnie and Liam, well less so Liam, more Ranga, are going to be able to have the same success that McEwen seems to be having. Obviously these hard runners are going to be aware that they are fighting tooth and nail to stay in the podium positions as it stands.
This is for position. Duncan getting past Ranga. Ranga was getting held up, I think, by Liam. If you look at those 3, they're all separated by about half a second. So that might be one to flip over to in a second. But as of now, we've got VR yet again. He's going to look for a move on Southerner's McEwen now. He's down to the bare bones of his ERS. And it's going to be a dive. Should he go for the move here? I think he might have to. He's going to have a look at Lee's. Thinks about it, but not on this occasion. He really needed those to go side by side and get a switchback. As well, I demonstrated rather well in F2, shall I say so myself. But it's not going to happen. But it won't matter because McEwen's got a really good run on VR. But VR, very good straight line speed. McEwen down the inside. He dives it down the inside. VR has to leave him the room. And he gets the move done. VR left a lot of room there. That was really, really polite from the McLaren driver. He could have been a bit more aggressive than that. And I don't think McEwen could have had too many qualms. But McEwen gets past. I guess VR doesn't have a penalty, and perhaps he's hoping that he can capitalise on that at the end. I'm not going to look too in depth at the penalty situation. Czech gets a penalty as we've got battling going on behind between Clock, Czech and Bunny. So you can see who's got a penalty, but we're not going to look at the amount. But it really is now. It's the big guns in Division 1. They're going to be hunting down SLR Gunnar, who of course is a race winner this season himself. We've got Czech. He's got past Clock. Now Bunny is going to do the same down into turn 1. Gets the move done. Clock can't really fight it. Those hards nearly giving up the ghost, I think. And now McEwen on the back of Summers. There's 4 laps to go. I don't think he's going to do it, is he, James?
No, I don't. I think the battling between Summers and DR has really hampered him as McEwen's...
He's diving.
Yeah, he's been stuck behind Summers for the whole of that last lap, really. It's not helped him at all. He's all playing into the hands of Gunnar, really, who's doing a fantastic job, it has to be said, out front.
Oh, I tell you what, James.
There's still time. There's still
Bunny
time. He
is
could do
flying,
it. But,
though.
yeah, these penalties.
Bunny was
for,
fighting with Well, Bunny was fighting around where Ranga was, I think, not too long ago, and now he's right on the back of this top, this train for P2.
The penalties that some of these guys have, though, are going to affect them at the end. I think even if McEwen catches Gunnar, there's no way he's pulling another 3 seconds on him with the few amount of laps that we have left. As Kolka showing what pace she might have had luck been on her side this weekend, setting the fastest lap of the race. I believe that was a 34.9 that just flashed up on my screen.
Whoa,
Check on VR.
Look down the inside of VR. Had to cut the corner as well, nearly clipped the back of him. VR as well, without a penalty. So at the moment, it looks as though the top 3 will be Gunnar, VR, Bunny. But obviously, there's still 3 laps to go.
Sem's saying that Bunny actually has thrown away a race victory here by making that pit stop to the soft tyres.
Harsh.
Harsh, mate. Haven't got any drivers in the points.
Harsh,
so
but probably fair, you'd have to say, because if you look at
left in the race and check, going for the move on VR, he's done it before the corner. And Bunny's now going to dive it down the inside. Yes, he is. Side by side with VR through the hairpin. Bunny needs to get this done, because if Bunny gets past VR, I think he's in line to get up to P2 by the looks of things. Renault need the points. Bunny's going to get it. He's got the slipstream. He's got the DRS. VR, I think, has DRS as well. Bunny's going to have to be the last of the late breakers here, which he is. Gets it done. Very nice move from Bunny. Late on the brakes. VR again pretty considerate when it comes to going side by side with drivers. I mean, well, he showed that last week as well. He had a brilliant battle race long with Duncan, and it was very clean as well, has to be said. So yet again, some really good driving standards on display tonight. And now Bunny, I don't know if Czech's going to make this too difficult for his mate. I don't know. I mean, obviously they're in different teams, so it's obviously not going to be a walk through the daisies, is it? But you never know. As Czech getting close to the back of Southerners as well. That's the thing. It's been clean, but it's been a lot of sort of grimacing and squinting and hoping that they don't hit the back of one another tonight. As on a few occasions now, we've nearly seen a couple of big accidents, but well, they've all been avoided thus far. We've got 2 laps to go. Kolka's pitted and going to have Guna now on the back of her. Kolka, I don't think will be lapped because she's on fresh softs. She's obviously going for another fastest lap. Czech pushing, Southerners, and in fact this is allowing McEwen to scamper away and try and hold on to that P2. He's brought the gap down by a few seconds to Guna, but I think it's going to be to no avail, especially with that penalty, as you say. As Czech's going to dive it down the inside of Southerners, and this is what Bunny needs. If Bunny can get a good exit here, he could get the pair of them, but he's a little bit tentative on the throttle. Not going to be quite able to go for it this time, as Czech and Southerners going side by side here. Czech with the DRS though, looks like he should get this done. He pulls in front, he had the racing line, he was fully ahead of Southerners, and he gets up into 3rd. Bunny on the switchback, can he now get past the Racing Point driver as well? But of course Southerners will have the DRS, and I don't think Bunny is going to be able to do much about it. Doesn't look like it on this occasion. No, but Southerners having a look back at Czech. They're going to go side by side. There's contact made. Bit of wheel banging, but nothing too untoward. Both drivers escaping relatively unscathed, but a bit of wheel banging there. And now Bunny's going to get the run, is he? He's got a good exit out of the corner. He's going to have a look at Southerners placing his car very well in the middle of the track there. Bunny's going to look on the switchback now, though. Not really side by side material through here, but he had a little go and a little bit of a tap on the rear end of the Racing Point. But again, nothing too bad in terms of contact. And McEwen is now not really gaining out onto the top, out on Czech. But of course, 16-lap-old mediums on Guna's car will mean that McEwen does still have that advantage, despite being on 8-lap-old softs, which won't be in the best of conditions themselves. Southerners on the 16-lap-old hards has got Bunny 3/10 behind him. Are we going to see a move? Bunny doesn't necessarily need to go for this move here, as he hasn't got a penalty at the moment, but I'm sure he'd like to get it anyway. As there we go, massive dive bomb from Bunny, slightly forcing Southerners out of the way. But as I say, it doesn't really matter anyway, as he doesn't have a penalty, whereas Southerners does. Southerners is going to look to come back at him. Not going to be able to, though, on this occasion.
That could be a crucial move.
Nearly hitting the back as well.
That could be a crucial move from Bunny, because if he can get to within 3 seconds of McEwen, he'll take second place off of the Ferrari driver. So it was a bit forceful, but
he's going for it though. Southerners coming back at him. They're going to go side by side into the braking zone here. But he's going to squirt the throttle back on and get it round the outside, getting the elbows out the pair of them. Good battling between everyone here, as has been the case all night long, and Bunny getting the position, and that should be just about a podium settled for Bunny should he avoid a penalty through the last few corners. But it is going to be SLR Guna, a convincing victory, but it was really far from it. Brilliant strategy to stay out, perfectly timed safety car for him, and it's his 2nd victory of the season. SLR Guna finishing the season on a high. It is going to be 3rd for Bunny in the end. Czech is 4th, BR 5th, Clock 6th. Southerners must have had a couple of penalties at least. He comes home 7th. Ranger 8th, Duncan 9th. Predators is going to be P10. He doesn't have a penalty either, so he definitely will be
P9 then. Oh, no.
Brinny Boy 11th as he crosses the line. Liam is going to battle home in 12th, as obviously he had issues with his pedals. So it's a very, very respectable effort from Liam to come across the line. P12. Rigsy, after that spin, is 13th. And, well, here's Kolka. She's a long way back, is Kolka, unfortunately.
That's weird.
It never really got going, did it, her evening? But unfortunately, she's going to be 14th here tonight.
Yeah, Duncan had 9 seconds of penalties and Predators had none. But the gap didn't go down at all when Predators crossed the line.
Yeah, the gap went down. Predators
Did
was
it?
13 behind him though.
Oh, was it? Okay, that's my bad. He will get him still though on the old stewards.
Well, yes.
James?
Well, exactly. I mean, these results are all provisional, of course. But as it stands, Guna dominant by, by looking at the timings anyway, 8 seconds was his gap at the end. And Kolka's starting the donuts early, as of course we've got those yet to go. I'll just pass over to Rando as I've just interrupted you there, so apologies for
that's
that.
all right. No, I was just going to say, James, Harry, I'm going to say something I never thought I'd say in my entire life. That was an exciting race at Abu Dhabi. Never thought I'd say that, but we've seen it. Nail-biting action. I know all the strategists were having a grand old time. Kolka's really enjoying that last lap. But no, it was a fantastic race, excellent driving, a lot of grimacing and nearly crashes, but no actual crashes, which is almost what you want to see in these races. And yeah, excellent driving from all those involved. Very exciting.
Yes, I'd like to thank whoever brought the safety car out for making the race very interesting.
They made it exciting.
But there you have it. It is SLR Guna taking his second victory of the season here, winning in Abu Dhabi at the season finale from SLR McEwen in P2 and Silly Bunny in third place. They are your top 3 for this race. But what did the rest of the field look like? It was, check this out, in P4 for Red Bull. Red Bull, 16 points at the moment for them. So they've closed the gap on Haas, have Renault. They've gained 15 points on the Haas team.
Get in there, Renault.
Now 62. It's still on, boys. VR was 5th in the McLaren. So despite having 3 pole positions this season in 3 races, he is yet to convert one into a victory. Sotia Clock came home 6th from 13th on the grid. He's a good shout for driver of the day. We didn't get driver of the day in. Of course, Guna as well, up 7 from where he started and winning. He's also a good shout for driver of the day. Summoners was 7th from 3rd on the grid. Ranga 8th. And Duncan came home 9th, but as James mentioned, probably won't stay there for too long. Predators P10, he rounded out the points with another points finish this season. Those were your top 10. Brinny Boy, Liam, Riggsy, Kolka rounded out the finishers. Kolka with the fastest lap, 34.5 for her on a 5-stop strategy. Maybe not. Well, that kind of sums up her race, I think, doesn't it? Connor, Kovac, Lil Wiggy, Brando, Tuman, and Monkey all retired. And that is the final race of the Division 1 season done and dusted, and we'll go now to the podium interviews and hopefully some donuts as well.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Guna doesn't do the podium interviews. I don't remember him joining when he won in Monza, so we'll just quickly summarise his race.
Rando can impersonate Guna if he wants.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. But
that's key.
Oh, it's a good race. Yeah, safety car came out. Great time.
Yeah, it did. Guna really benefited from that. Obviously, gambling a little bit potentially and staying out and committing to that one stop early on.
To his credit, he made the mediums last to the end,
and
which no one else decided to try and attempt. So fair play to him on that.
I'm pretty sure that's Guna driver of the day as well. So a very good result from the Alfa Romeo driver. But we'll start with third place then, Silly Bunny.
Sorry.
Rando's happy because that's a Renault driver, of course. My first question is:
in there, lad.
do you think you could have tried the one stop that Guna tried? Because your tyres were a little older than his, but he made it work. So yeah, Sem thinking that you could have done that, and apparently, according to him, you've thrown away a victory. So how do you see that?
Rinsing Sem tonight. Justice for Sem.
I don't know, mate. I'm gutted, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I think the 2-stop was the right option, but when I went in for my second pit stop, because Colco pit that lap as well, I forgot about the glitch in the game, so I was held for 15 seconds in the pits, and I got jumped by McEwen, and then I lost 10 seconds to him on the exit, and I was just dropped down the field, and I had to fight through like medium and hard runners. Oh, mate, I'm gutted. I felt like I had the victory there. Like I pulled 2 seconds on my in lap to McEwen as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a sticky one.
Yeah, your pace was was really good all weekend. You were looking like one of the sort of a handful of drivers that would have been on for the win at one point. But yeah, as you say, the game not doing you any favors, which we hadn't actually noticed. But yeah, that's really unlucky. Don't know if you've got a question or anything to add on that one, lads.
Yeah, I'll say well done to Guna because yeah, didn't expect that strat at all. I was sort of looking at the lap counter, sort of expecting his little dot to just stop in the pits at some point, but it never did. So yeah, no, congrats to him. That was a pretty smart strat. I can't lie, didn't see that coming. And also well done to McEwen for P2. And also I want to say, I'd not congrats, but like a farewell to Kolka. I mean, never had her on the in like the comms or anything, but yeah, no, she's been a good teammate for Renault. I think it's her last race, so yeah, she's been a bit unfortunate in the races, but she's clearly got top pace in Div 1, if not elite. So yeah, I just want to say like farewell to her, really.
That's amazing sportsmanship from Renault there. Arguably the best team on the grid. Love to see it.
We'll move swiftly on to McEwen, then try and get this done before the donuts. P2 in the end for you. I guess from what we saw, really, it was traffic that was your main downfall. I noted it was 2 seconds a lap you needed to catch Schooner. So do you think you could have done it without the traffic?
I don't know. I weren't really thinking about catching Schooner. My mindset was really trying to keep checking Silly Bunny behind me. I mean, I struggled most of the race, and then really the traffic helped me out in some ways because it kept them two behind.
I believe if my maths is correct, or from what I've seen in the chat, you've done enough to pip clock to second in the championship. I guess that's a sort of small victory for you after missing quite a few races. But haven't had the chance to speak to you recently, so I'm gonna ask you what your sort of aims and target for next season is.
Same as this season, really. I mean, obviously the working away killed my season, really, in a way. But hopefully just more of the same. I mean, it looks like Div 1's going to be a lot stronger next season as well. The amount of drivers that are just in here, and I think it's just going to filter through all the divisions, just getting stronger with pace. So yeah, hopefully just more of the same.
All right then. I think that will conclude the interviews. We'll keep them short because we've got donuts to come. We'll let you guys get back to that. But yeah, and that's it then, Harry, for the interviews.
Cheers, lads.
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate the top three, of course, on their brilliant races. Gunnar as well. Well, obviously he was in the top three, but he didn't join us for the podium interviews. But I'm sure he was very pleased with his drive. Was he driver of the day, James?
Yeah, I believe he was. From the votes, it was quite even, but he definitely gets my vote because I would not have expected that strategy to work at all.
Well deserved, and it was a rather fitting race as well to end off the Division 1 season. Another very entertaining race from start to finish. Of course, the safety car did help to spice things up a little bit. It opened the strategy up, and it allowed Gunnar to perfect that one stop on the mediums to the end. But, well, it's been a long season, the longest season we've had yet in SLR F1. 22 races in total. Your Division 1 champion, as we can see him there, weaving down the straight, is Southerners. The Constructors champions as well, Racing Point. The Joint Constructors, though, still all to play for, with Renault and Red Bull both gaining on the Haas team tonight. So be sure to tune in throughout the rest of the weekend for the respective races of Division 2, 3 and Elite to see if anything does change in terms of the Joint Constructors. But that is all that we've got time for tonight. I'm going to leave the donuts on for a few minutes before I shut the stream off. But and we might get a few guys in.
Yeah, let's get a few of them in. Let's have a little chit chat.
Yeah, let's get them in.
Well, should we get Southerners
There we go.
in
So we won't end it straight away. We'll have a chat. I'd like to speak to Southerners as well as we watch them do the donuts.
We'll love Matt. Let's get Matt in here.
Yeah, we'll get Matt in here. So we'll have a quick chat with Matt.
I'll invite Liam.
And then we'll see what's happening
Rango.
after that.
I'm just any Div 2 driver on my friends list is getting an invite. I mean, Div 1, obviously. Oh, here he is. Rang has arrived. Southerners has arrived. Yeah. So, Liam's here. So, Southerners, wrap up your season for us. Start to finish, heartbreak and joy.
Tick your box.
Yes, tick your box. The one that says include my audio. There you go.
It's been an absolute rollercoaster, I must admit. Obviously, forced DNF in the first race. After the second race, had the heartbreaking message from Liam to say you can't use the Wi-Fi anymore. If it doesn't improve, you lose your seat. Just since then, managed to. Yeah, since then, just managed to really just grind out them results, try and keep consistent. Fortunately, I left it till today to have a bit of a mare of the strategy. Yeah, it was just really about keeping consistent this season with the way Division 1's been. But yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, massive congratulations to you, mate. Of course, Drivers and Constructors Championship for yourself. And really, in a season where we've had 14 different winners, it really has been the consistency that has proven to be, well, your forte, should we say, as it were, in taking the championship. Thoroughly deserved, though, it has to be said.
Good, man.
I guess you're enjoying these donuts at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I mean,
just gonna catch up with the lot in front. Gonna do donuts with them.
I don't know what more there is to say. I mean, we've obviously spoken to you quite a bit the last couple of weeks. I think you've kind of you've said what you wanted to say. Obviously, just again, like to say this moment to congratulate you on the title. I mean, expectations for next season perhaps is the only other thing I can think to ask you. Obviously, moving up to Elite as Division 1 champion.
To be honest, it's just at the moment, it's just enjoy the time I've got off, enjoy the break, and to be honest with Elite, it's just the relief of going into every single race without pressure like Formula 2. So maybe I might be able to grind out results. Oh my God,
Whoa.
Callum!
I just saw that. Oh wow. Yeah.
That's right. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Elite. It's gonna be interesting to see what I can do. It's gonna be great to race with the absolute aliens. But cheers, Callum. I'm gonna race missing with. I'm gonna miss racing with the. What sort of? I'm being bullied. I'm upside down.
Whoa, dude. It's the championship beats.
Yeah, go on then, Matt. Have your victory lap.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to next year seeing what I can do to race against the aliens of SLR.
My tyres are done.
Well, hello, Jack. This is
How did you guys make Abadan?
What the
For God's sake.
Rare.
Right on the podium, seconds on the right. Right. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, look at that. Absolutely.
There's your top 3 in the championship. Oh. I was on board with Ranger to look at you, and then he's just getting punted by Bunny.
Got Riggsy out on the wet tyres. Interesting to see what he's going to be doing there. Oh. Oh God.
Here we go then. The donuts on the main straight.
I can't believe there's only 8 of them.
I didn't even mean that.
You always have to leave space.
Right then, I think that is a fitting end to today's stream. The last action we see is the champion doing some donuts and getting put in a wall. There we go.
Sums up Div 1.
But thank you all for watching, not only tonight but throughout the season. Like I say, be sure to tune in throughout the rest of the weekend for the other races that are happening, and to join us at the beginning of January for the first race back of Season 6. It would of course be Division 1 as per usual. But that is it from myself. Thank you to James and Seb for joining me tonight.
Pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure.
And that is all this evening. I'll try and end the stream before Ranga can scream again like last week. But thank you all, and good night.